From the towering peaks of the Woolajezi Mountain in Lofa County to the golden plains of Bomi River Basin, through the verdant greens of the Sapo National Park, a place where monkeys whisper secrets and pygmy hippos tread unseen, from the valleys to the roaring coasts of Monrovia, Buchanan, Harper, and Robertsport. These are the voices that travel unfiltered, uncaged, and unstoppable. Welcome to the Liberian Voices Unfiltered, the platform where we speak the languages of the land, celebrate the cultures of our people, beat the drums of our tribes, and dance to the rhythms of our identity. This platform is more than just a broadcast. It's a movement, a megaphone for the people. No scripts, no sugarcoating, no stage management, just the truth, pure, bold, and proudly Liberian. Tune in, turn up the volume, and join your host, George Senator Sibo, the Pan-Africanist, shaking the mic, breaking the silence, and speaking for the nation and its people. The Liberian Voices Unfiltered. All hail, Liberia hail. It is raw, it is real, it is authentic. From the bushes to the beaches, this is our voices, our truth, and our story. It must be heard.
Yeah, you're tuned into the heartbeat of Mama Liberia, where truth meets the people and every voice is heard. This is Liberian Voices Unfiltered. We're speaking truth tonight.
Liberia,
let your voices rise.
From the streets of Monrovia to the hills of Nimba, we're bringing light where the truth's been hindered. Politics and power, let's break it down. We talk the real, no mask, no crown. Economy shaking, but we still stand tall. Business and trade, we can uplift all. From the youth to the elders, we all gotta say, unfiltered voices paving the way. Liberian voices unfiltered. Yeah, we tell it how it is, no filter. Liberian voices unfiltered. The people's mic, the nation's mirror. From Buchanan to Bong, from Lofa to Cape Mount, we talk the truth that really counts. Liberian voices unfiltered. Your story, your power, your sound. Healthcare, education, we...
Yeah! You're tuned into the heartbeat of Mama Liberia, where truth meets the people and every voice is heard. This is Liberian Voices Unfiltered. We're speaking truth tonight.
Liberia,
let your voices rise.
From the streets of Monrovia to the hills of Nimba, we're bringing light where the truth's been hindered. Politics and power, let's break it down. We talk the real, no mask, no crown. Economy shaking, but we still stand tall. Business and trade, we can uplift all. From the youth to the elders, we all gotta say, unfiltered voices paving the way. Liberian voices unfiltered. Yeah, we tell it how it is, no filter. Liberian voices unfiltered. The people's mic, the nation's mirror. From Buchanan to Bong, from Lofa to Cape Mount, we talk the truth that really counts. Liberian voices unfiltered. Your story, your power, your sound. Healthcare, education, we...
Yeah! You're tuned into the heartbeat of Mama Liberia, where truth meets the people and every voice is heard. This is Liberia.
All right, fellow Liberians, good evening, good afternoon, hello, wherever you are, and how well you are listening to me. This is your host, George Senator Sibo. I came to touch base with you guys today. Today being the 9th day of January, wow, 2026. We can see it is fast moving. January is fast moving. Very soon, we'll be in February. So the year have already started, and I want to know what's going on from your end. How is it? How the new year started? We're going almost like 2 weeks, a week and something. How is it from your end? And how things happening? Are your pot boiling? What's happening? Are we having enough to eat? Enough food? Enough things going on? Enough places to visit? What's happening? Tell me in the comment section. Comment. Give me your comment. Let me know what's going on, and I will be telling you over here what's going on. In America here on the East Coast, it is very, very, the weather is getting better. I don't know. our own winter time is getting better for us. I don't know how it's happening. Instead of getting cold, we get a little bit of warm here. We feel good about that. It's not really, really cold over here on the East Coast. For some of you that are been on the East Coast, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, Pennsylvania, it's not too cold over here. We can chill. But I know our folks in Minnesota, North Dakota, the places I think it's really chilly over there. Yeah, so tell me what's going on in the comment section. You can come and say, text what's going on in your area. How is the situation? How LEC is it working? Do we have water running in the community now? We have LEC in your community. Are we having issue of power theft? We're still having people tampering with the electricity thing in Liberia. You have to report people. Be a good citizen. A good citizen is the one that can report crimes. When people messing with the transformer, when people messing with the electric wire that are not LEC people, you need to call the government attention to it. Other than that, when they test check line in a place, your whole transformer blow or you'll be out of power for a very long time. You have to be a citizen that will be able to report crimes. Citizens that will be able to report issues. That's what good citizens can do within the community. Not to sit there and say, that's my business, let me let it pass. No. Anything going wrong in the community is a business because it has the ability to affect you. Even if the pole is not running to your house directly, even if you don't have current or electricity coming to your house, but that wire that is running, one day you will use it and connect it to your house. So when you see wrong happening in the community, there is something called community policing. You should be able yourself call the police, call authority attention to it. In America here, they call it anonymous tip. You can tip the police, get an anonymous call, put your call on, put your caller ID off, and call and give some information. Let them know that, so person is tampering with the meter, so person is tampering with the water line, and somebody is digging, is doing something that's going to cause erosion on the road. All those information, when you provide them to law enforcement, they will help. It's called being a good community person. So today I'm just going to be touching base with you guys because tomorrow by this time we'll be having a big show here on the Liberian Voices Unfiltered. I'll be paying host to Mr. Emmanuel Menza Dolake, a seasoned maritime professional and a seafarer. An experienced seafarer. So tomorrow we'll be discussing on an article he wrote on like a piece of journal, a paper that he wrote on seafaring, how useful it is for Liberia, how it can transform Liberia. So we'll be talking a lot of some other things about maritime tomorrow. We'll be jumping into maritime issue here and there are some other trending things, especially when it comes to the maritime sector or maritime regulations that are going on. And we try our best to see if we can bring some there are a bunch of maritime professionals in Liberia, that which I'm also part of the network because I'm a maritime professional too. So we have not thousands, but a lot of people, more than 40 to 50 maritime professionals that are in Liberia today. And now there's a very piece of important legislation that when that law passes, when the president signed that thing into law, it's going to have a serious or a very big impact on the maritime sector. So I expect maritime professionals like myself, and to be meeting to radio station, to be meeting on social media platforms, to be discussing the issue. You getting me? It's not everything politics. There are some professional issues. You can come online. You can come on the platform. We can talk about it. We don't have to put politics in it. It will be strictly professional. We're talking about the substantive issue within the legislation. How is it going to benefit the country? How is it going to benefit the maritime sector? Already we see in the maritime sector in Liberia, especially our domestic maritime sector, we see nothing much improving, especially when it comes to seafaring or vessel registration and navigation within our local waters, our own waters, our river, and so we're not seeing much improvement. So we should be focusing on drafting or encouraging lawmakers or the policymakers to draft legislations that will improve our domestic maritime, our maritime sector, instead of crafting or creating some that will further tear the whole thing apart. So I expected some of my professional colleagues, even though I reached out to them, asking them to join the show so that we can come out in a professional manner to talk about it. There's going to be completely void of politics. We're just going to discuss the issue, the merit, how it's going to affect the country positively or how it's going to affect the country negatively. But to my surprise, I'm doing one person show interest, a couple of people, but nobody willing to actually come forward to talk about it on the show. And I understand people are protecting their jobs, but there are some things that it is incumbent upon us when you are professional in a particular subject, in a particular field, and something big is about to happen in that field, and it's going to affect the country negatively if that thing goes on. It is high upon your conscience to find a means and provide some expert opinion, some professional opinion on those issues, to talk about it and let the country know, let the whole policymaker know that according to XYZ thing, international best practice, if we do this, it's going to affect us. So I reached out to some of my colleagues, but like everybody tend to be like protecting their jobs and all that stuff. We understand, when you lose a job, it's a big thing. It's a very big thing, but some discussion it's not political. We might come on the platform, we might talk about the maritime sector, and other policymakers might be joined to it, might take one or two cent or one or two discussion point and include it into legislation that can be beneficiary to the country. So it's not everything politics. So sometimes when a major issue is going on in the country, in your sector, please find a way to give your opinion on it, find a way to talk about it. That would be a very good thing. So like I said, tomorrow, we will try as much as possible, and the amount of people that we'll have, it will be an open platform, open discussion tomorrow also. And a maritime professional from around the world, in Liberia or anywhere. The flyer is already out there. You can check my Facebook page, Liberian Voices Unfiltered. You will see the flyers. You can see that we'll be discussing issues, in the maritime sector. We'll be discussing seafaring. How can they help in nation building? How can they help in creating jobs opportunity? And a very good piece that was written by my comrade Emmanuel Mensah Dolake, that came out with a very good article on that. And tomorrow we'll be delving into the article, and he'll be giving his his experience as a seafarer, and what some of the things we can do as a country to encourage Liberian seafarers, Liberians to become a seafarer. I can tell you it's a very, very lucrative job. Seafaring job is very, very lucrative. They make good pay. Seafarer make good pay. Even though it's a kind of isolation job where you'll be away from your family for some time. But a lot of shipping agencies get regulations where they get time in and time off. You can spend one or 2 weeks on board, or 1 month or 2 months on board. You can come home and relax and go back again. So the maritime sector is a very good one. It's a very lucrative one. And God has blessed us with a very big registry. The Liberian Maritime Program is one of the biggest, in fact, it's the largest maritime program now in the world. Panama is next to us. So those are sectors that we can all be talking about, creating avenues and finding a way around the regulations so that we can be having seafarers, Liberian seafarers on board some of the vessels. And, that will bring revenue to the country. It will bring revenue, I can promise you. And Liberia is at a better position for such a thing, because when you look at us, the maritime language is English. We speak English, we write English. So we don't have issue with that. So the language barrier, look at Chinese, look at Indian, look at other people that their language is not even English. Their first official language is not even English, but they are dominating the maritime sector. They had to go learn English first before they come and become a seafarer. It's a long cut for them, but they are dominating. The Chinese are a lot. The Japanese, they don't speak English, but look at them. The Panamanian, they don't speak English like that. But look, they are dominating the maritime sector. But while Liberia, look at us. We speak English, we read English, we write English. Why are we not in the sector? What is happening? And we have the biggest registry. We got more than almost 6,000 ships, more than 5,500 ships that are flying our flags. So those are some of the things we'll be talking about tomorrow. It's not politics. It's a professional discussion tomorrow. So I'll ask you guys to join the discussion as we talk more about that. If you're a maritime professional, if you got some maritime opinion or some maritime related questions that you want to talk about, and you want to ask about tomorrow, it'll be a good time. We will have the lines open. You can come and talk about it. The legislation that is already pending, I think we will touch a little bit about it because we don't want the show to be political. We're not going to make that discussion tomorrow political. And I think that's some of the reason why some of my maritime professional colleagues don't want to come on the show, because they're thinking that we're going to make it. It's not going to be political. It's going to be about how Mr. Dulaga is going to be explaining to us tomorrow. What are some of the prospects in the maritime sector? What are some of the contributions that he has made, and what are some of the things he hoped to achieve? Provided the opportunities are given to him. So tomorrow we'll have a big discussion on that tomorrow. So I ask you guys, go on my page, please share the flyer. You will see the flyer there. Please share it on your pages and encourage people to join the discussion. Maritime contribute more than 40 to 50, almost 35 to 40% of our revenue. When you hear the budget, maritime contribute a lot. So maritime is a very, very, very important issue in Liberia. A lot of people don't know the sector because they have made the sector look so close. Nobody know how it works. They don't even know that we have it. A lot of people don't even know that we have it. But we have the biggest registry, the biggest maritime sector. I would say the biggest maritime program in the world right now in terms of tonnage. So Liberia have that. But what happened, what is going on that our people are not really benefiting too? Are you getting me? It has to do with regulation issues. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow a little bit. A little bit about it. But like I said, it's not going to be political tomorrow. So I'm asking all of my colleagues, the ones that are watching this, my live, or that will watch it later, please tomorrow, that the port reform law and things, let's come together, let's talk a little bit about it. Let us talk a little bit. We're not going to be pointing finger to nobody. We're not going to be saying this person do that. No. It's going to be on the issue, on the subject, looking at international best practices. How the policy, when it passed, how it's going to affect existing regulations that we already have. So those are some of the things we'll be talking about tomorrow. And I encourage you, so my colleagues will come on the show. Let us talk about it. Or we can even find another platform that you guys feel that maybe that will have a lot of people or tons of people or millions of people or thousands of people watching it. I'm open to that. Because if we allow this legislation just pass like that, we all know it's going to be disastrous for our maritime sector. It's going to affect the nation so great. Because you can see an example is the APM terminal deal. That APM terminal deal that President Ellen Johnson signed. I don't know if they were constrained at that time to sign that deal, or that was the best they could get from that deal. But we all can see today that deal was not a good deal. The APM terminal deal was never a good deal, and it can never be a good deal. Today, look there. See how much people are paying to free a container from the port. How much people are paying to just little things in your container. Even people sending stuff for agriculture, other stuff that's supposed to be. You can't even get your stuff out of the port because APM terminal is making everything too expensive, and the port is not even up to standard. The contract said they were going to upgrade this port to meet international standard. Is it upgraded to meet international standard? The answer is no. Ship handling equipment, they don't even have effective ones. So APN terminal deal was not a good deal. So we don't want to make that same mistake again with the Buchanan port, the Greenville port, and the Maryland port. We don't want to make that mistake. So as maritime professionals, it is our responsibility to come and provide those expert opinions, those expert recommendations to policymakers, so they can understand and know exactly that, oh yeah, if we do this, this will happen. You get me? You don't want to have regulations tangling with each other, and the other one setting responsibility that has already been designated to another authority, taking from them and giving to, and it creates problem. So maritime professionals, seaport users, all those that are working within the maritime sector that have maritime knowledge, that understand port and shipping, that knows about I'm encouraging you guys to come and form part of this thing. Let us talk about it. The policies make our representatives and our senators, and we're not saying they don't know what they're doing, but sometimes they need some of the expert advices. You get me? They need so yeah, my man Thomas, Mr. Bomber said we got heavy snow in Edmond, Canada. But man, that player, I think he must be living in Canada. So that small snow in Canada, I know. Yeah, my man, you're bad. We'll pray for you. We'll pray for you. But you see the share away right now. I will play warm outside, my man. In January, we experienced a little bit of snow, not much. The highest that came was 3 to 6 inches snow that the only one we received. And now we are the weather is so good you can go outside with t-shirt, in winter time. But all these things have a very good trickle down effect on it's climate change. Climate change is affecting most of these things. When you talk about climate change, people think it's a joke. It's not a joke. In Liberia today, I can tell you on this show, like I said, today we're just going to be chit-chatting. Write your comment, write anything you want to write. We're going to talk about it on the show today. And anything you want us to talk about, and we can just chit-chat about it a little bit. The line is open. When you look under the go to the live, you see under the live there is a link is there. If you want to join the show, just click on the link. I will bring you on board. We can have a discussion. Anyone want to talk? It's open. It's an open discussion today. Just click on the link and then you'll be able to join. The show. I'll bring you on so we can have a discussion. We just chit chat. Tomorrow is where we want to have the real maritime discussion. Even though there are a few things I will talk about today, but it's open. Anyone I want to join, come in. Let's talk about it. Tell me how your place is, how Canada going on. Tell me how the New Year is treating you, and how the government performing, how things are working, and what are some of the recommendations we can give the government to help, because it is our responsibility as everyone. So as I was talking about the climate change issue, some of you that have been following my posts on Facebook, you can know that my family and I, we are into agriculture. We are into farming. Specifically, we are doing mixed farming. We do cocoa, we do plantain. We're doing mixed kind of mixed farming. And we had a very great loss. We had great loss this rainy season. Let me just say it's rainy season because it's still raining. We had a great loss, yes. Because people that have planted cocoa, they know that usually you plant cocoa during around the rainy season time so that it can grow. And then when the next dry season comes and it have gotten some roots, it's strong, then maybe the first time you can water it depending on the size, but it's very good to water it because when the sun is really hot and the cocoa are not big enough, they can die. So there was some point we experienced a lot of fatality from our cocoa from the sun. That was like 2-3 years ago. The sun killed good portion of it. But this time around, it's on the opposite. It's the water that is killing our cocoa now. Because area like around the clay area, like close to the swamp, around the swampy area, cocoa can do very well around the area, the clay area. So we planted our cocoa along the area and thing, but the continuous rain, rainy season, how it rain heavy. It rain, and that area, water not actually supposed to set there. When it rain after setting down, the water sort of slide away and goes to the swamp and back to the river and go. But the going rainy season, the rain was so heavy, the water was just too much. So the water was setting. The water set to the extent that it grew up higher and even covered the smaller cocoa. And when it covers the cocoa, when the cocoa is not big yet, you just planted like 2-3 months, it's not really big yet, then you have water covering it, it suffocates the cocoa. The cocoa will not have oxygen. So we experienced a lot of fatality in our cocoa this time around, this year. And it was not as a result of sun, it was as a result of oh wow, I'm sorry we lost internet, we have a little glitch in our internet. I don't know. It's strange. What's going on? Yeah, that was a little glitch. So as I was telling you guys, can you guys get me clear? If you can get me clear, please text in the comment section. Let me know if you can hear me. Because we just had a little internet glitch, but I think we are back on again. So as I was telling you guys, the climate change, global warming is imminent. It's happening. It's not coming. It's happening. So I'm a cocoa farmer. Like I'm telling people, I'm a cocoa farmer. We do large of our produce. We have our crops that we plant at cocoa. So we experience a very high mortality rate among our juvenile cocoa, our young cocoa that we planted. And because it was due to the rain. The rain was so much to the extent that the whole area got full, and then the water covered the crops. When you have water covering the crops, they will die. You'll be surprised to know that even the water was so plenty to the extent that it rained too much to the extent that even plantain and banana that love water, they die because the water covered them. When the water covered them, they can't get oxygen, they're going to die. Yeah, so we lost some of our crops. And can you imagine? Nowhere, even in the whole West Africa, that cocoa planting have been taking place. Even in the swamp or on the highland, nowhere that they have been planting cocoa, even in January. But I'm telling you, in January, we are planting cocoa. We're planting cocoa right now because it's still raining. When it's raining, you plant cocoa because the ground is wet. It's still raining, so we are still planting cocoa. Cocoa planting should have ended a long time ago. But because it's still raining, we're still having a lot of rainfall, so we are still planting cocoa. So you see it? It's messing with the whole system. The climate change is messing with the whole system. And you listen to you guys, some of you might have seen the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. You saw their press conference on the climate change. Yes, it's true. We, the farmers, were experiencing it. I was really, really affected. I lost more than almost 5,000 to 6,000 cocoa died. I planted already on the field. We lost a lot of cocoa due to the rainfall, the heavy rainfall. And now the rain is still falling. So climate change is imminent. Let us stop cutting baby trees down. If there's a need to cut those trees, it's fine. But when you see trees and in your yard and things, don't cut them. They are helping to protect the environment. Every tree you cut is affecting something somewhere. Yeah, so that's the reason why it is very, very important that the government bring electricity so fast. Because when you have electricity, people don't have to cut those trees to make coal. Because it's coal that is making our country deforested. So they are cutting all of those trees. We're having a lot of forest trees going. We're losing our forests. We're losing our forests. And when we lose the forest, we're going to be affected by climate change. Climate change is going to affect us so greatly. We don't have the technology to fight it. The only thing we can do is to use nature, and which is the tree. Keep the natural trees. It will help in terms of climate change. So yeah, we the farmer, we are feeding it. Already we have not received any subsidy from government. Fertilizer, we're buying one bag of fertilizer, $65 US for one bag of fertilizer. $65 US. And you need different kind of fertilizer. The cocoa is very, very high in terms of like the potassium. It needs a lot of it. So sometimes we use more urea. There's a fertilizer called urea. We have to use more of that because the cocoa make use of that to make the leaf green, make it green, the foliage, to make the foliage very green, to make it look healthy and good. So a bag of urea is the same thing, just one bag of urea, buying almost $60-$75 for one bag of urea. I don't know how many poor farmers, when the people say, oh, they're small crop, they're banana, they're planting, when they say, oh, you can't make $60 US. So how you sell one bag of fertilizer, how do you even want to buy the fertilizer? Some of others have a very huge and big farm. My farm manager was just telling me, I bought up to 10 bags of fertilizer. It ain't go nowhere yet. 10 bags. I mean, those 50 kg bags. It ain't go nowhere yet. They say, oh, the fertilizer, we need different. We need 4 to 5 more bags to continue. So based on the size of our farm, I think I'll be using around 25 to 30 bags of fertilizer because our farm is so huge. It's a big farm. We pray to God that one day hopefully by next year, we'll begin to harvest on a commercial scale, where we'll harvest and sell some cocoa and begin to, use the. My greater prayer is for the farm to be able to take care of itself first. My small mountain wasn't for, I was mountain, let it go in our pocket, let the farm be able to take care of itself first. And I'm fighting how to get money from you to eat or no. I want you to be able to take care of itself, buy your own fertilizer, pay your own workers. I should not be taking money from my pocket. Then I know that I'm getting somewhere. But hopefully next year, we will achieve that. We will achieve that next year. We'll be around that level. Yes. So, fellow Liberian, like I said, tell me what's happening around you guys there. Let me know. Hey, LEC, how LEC doing? You guys got water in your community? Is that water running now? Hey, how the transportation system, MTA, is things working fine? Let us chit chat. So, you can put a comment there. We can do. If you want to join, like I said, on the live, there's a button there. You can click it and you can join the live. We can talk about it. But a few things I really want to also talk about today, in as much as I was just using today as an opportunity to introduce tomorrow's program. But there are a few things that are of major concern too that we'll have to talk about. I'm not going to talk about tomorrow. So a little bit of what I want to say, it has to do with you see, when the crafter of our laws, our constitution, those people, our Asian, our forefathers that sat down to coin that law, to draft that law, that think outside the box, to make the laws, they were people of wisdom. They were people that God guided them. They were smart people. You get what I'm saying? So when they make those laws, they make it for people to go play fun with it. They make it for people to know that these laws are very, very important and they're supposed to be able to follow them. You get what I'm saying? So there is something in our law we call separation of power. You get me? So we have three branches. They said there are three separate but equal branches of government: the executive, the judiciary, and the legislative branch. Everybody has a role to play. Everybody has a role to play. So today I just want to talk a little bit about that, because I'm seeing some things going on the internet that I feel that it has the propensity to undermine some of the development or the development agenda of our country. If you take a look, right, those three branches of government, the law, the legislative branch, our legislature, the representatives and the senator, they have a fiduciary duty to make the laws. And, their job is to make the law. Let me tell you something. Hello, I'm online. We'll call you later. I'm online. I'm sorry about that. Somebody will call it. Yeah, so when you look at those three branches of government, everybody has their responsibility. Every branch has a specific responsibility. And like I said, our legislature, the lawmaker, who can call the lawmaker, there are two branches. They are separated. Two places. You got the House of Representatives and the Liberian Senate. So people can say the upper house and the lower house. There's nothing called upper house and lower house. It's the House of Representatives and the Liberian Senate. The Liberian Senate is not a house. Don't call it a house. It's a mistake. People usually made that. So the House of Representatives and the Liberian Senate. That's how our law puts it. So those guys have three cardinal functions according to our constitution. There are three cardinal functions. I mean, their roles is based on these three functions. Every other thing they do should fall under the three functions. One of their functions include lawmaking, to make law. They can make law. That's their job, to come up with laws, rules, and regulations, to make laws. The second thing is to represent. They represent our people. That's what we call them, representatives and senators. They represent their constituency. They are your mouthpiece. You send them there to speak in your interest. You send them there to represent you. Anything they say, that's why you have said. Any paper they sign, it means you sign that paper because you send them there. So that's the reason why we have to be very careful who we elect as our representative, our senators, because they are your direct representation. They are representing you. Anything they do that, it means you told them to do it. So that's the reason why you gotta look at things in people. You gotta figure out things in people before you even accept them to be. So, and I'll get back to them. So you got lawmaking, representation, and oversight. Their third function is oversight, to see what is going on. When you have oversight on something, it means you see, not to be saying that to your horse, to be able to be seen, to follow news and follow daily activities, to know what is happening. That's the reason why when something goes on, you see, they can cite a particular entity. Sometimes they will cite the Ministry of Justice, come and explain why is it that, the policemen were beaten up, come and explain. Come and explain. And then that is part of the oversight responsibility, to see, okay, the concession agreement is signed. Okay, let us see if what they said they were going to do, if they're actually doing it. So the representative and the senator can dispatch people to go and check to see. So it falls on an oversight. So those three branches, those three rules, those three cardinal functions: lawmaking, representation, oversight. Every other thing falls under those three. That is part of their core function. So when you look at those branches, and then the executive branch, the president is the head of the executive branch. That's the way the speaker is the head of the legislative branch. Yes, the speaker is the head of that branch. So and then you have the judiciary branch. The judiciary branch, the chief justice is the head of that branch. So and the judiciary branch has to do with they are the ones that handle our court, all of our court issues. They fall under that branches. Yeah, under the judiciary branch. So each of those branches, they are separate, but they are equal in terms of power and responsibility. They are equal. That is the reason why those branches also remain separated. You cannot try to merge them. Everybody has a role to play. So I've been seeing some things trending on Facebook. It baffles me. It worries me a lot. And somebody can say, "But you're in America, why are you worrying?" I'm not worried because of getting a job in Liberia. No, I'm worried about our people. So you see, the executive branch is the administrator. They are the one that execute. They execute all of the plans. They're the one with buy, they will spend, they will sign agreement, they will sign contract, like that. So their role is to execute. The executive branch execute everything. So they are the one that play with the money. The executive branch plays with the money. Our lawmakers, I think, they play with paper. They're supposed to play with paper. But within our paper, they can always put money there so they can get more, they can get something. They can always put things inside for themselves so they can get something. So what I've been worrying me a few times is this, right? I listened to some months ago, some part of last year, the beginning of last year, one that was a scuffle in the place for speakership. Oh, Kofa should be removed. Kofa will move. Kun will be speaker. All those noise came up. At the end of the day, Kun became a speaker, and then he mentioned in some of his statements that he's a regime speaker. Or regime speaker. Being a regime speaker means you have aligned yourself with the executive branch. Automatically, you have aligned yourself with the executive branch, which not supposed to be so. As a speaker, remember your three roles: to make law, to represent, and to have oversight. So when you align yourself with the executive branch, what are you going to oppose the executive branch on? What are you going to object the executive branch on? So when the executive branch comes up with anything, because you already claim to be a regime speaker, you already put yourself in that path that you will agree with anything they bring. So you will find lot of stuff going on, a lot of things going on that has not been scrutinized. A lot of things will be happening because you already say, "Oh, you are a regime speaker." So that means executive branch, yeah, anything you say, I agree because I'm part of you. Then of recent, we saw the deputy speaker too, Thomas Fala, on the national radio, telling the Liberian people that, he is even trying organizing a group of people that will be able to support President Joseph Boakai bid for the next election. or the Unity Party bid for the next election. What does that show? It shows that the entire hierarchy, and then we see Yomli Kanga too. Yomli Kanga is a pro-temporary. She's already in the Joseph Walker camp. She's already allied to Unity Party. So if you having those three key people that run the legislative branch already aligning with the executive branch, what do we expect to change? What do we see that will really bring about change in our country? Because when the executive branch is doing a job, it is the work of the legislature to check them, to cross-check them. Watch international politics. Look at America, look at other places. You see how parliament or how the legislature object to some things that the executive is saying. We're not saying you cannot have a political affiliation, but in the condition where the speaker, the pro-temporary, the deputy speaker, they are all aligning with the executive. What do we realize? What do we see that will actually change? So that means anything the executive say, nobody will be there to oppose it. Nobody will be there to say anything. I think it is a wrong precedent. I think to me it's troubling. We understand in America sometimes you can have the president and the speaker from the same political party, but because America has a system where their vote they take it very serious. You have seen on many occasions, even President Donald Trump, some of his own Republican partisans that are senators, that are representatives, they oppose, they vote no. That's not happening. No. So sometimes you see scuffle. It's not going to happen. But in our own case, Liberia is troubling. That's why I say, okay, let me talk about it today. You have the speaker, you have the deputy speaker, you have the Senate, the pro-temporary of the Liberian Senate. They are all aligning with the executive branch. So that means anything the executive branch say is a let's go. It's troubling to our country. We're supposed to see debate going on. We're supposed to see argument between the two branches. And you getting me? This legislation is bad. No, Mr. President, this can't happen. If you do this, we will say no. If you do this, we will impeach you, or we'll say, those kind of healthy argument for the nation's sake. If you see those kind of scuffle going on in the legislature, it means democracy is taking a course. If you see the legislature disagreeing with the executive to a larger extent, that means the Democrat is getting healthy in your country, because their job is to make sure to check the executive and see what the executive is doing, to make sure that the executive is working in the interest of the people. But if you have all of them, the speaker, the deputy speaker, the pro-temporary, all of them have a line with the executive branch, who's going to check them now? Who's going to check the executive branch? Who's going to make sure the executive branch is doing the right thing? Look at the budget. You're complete all the executive branch, put a whole lot of budget line for themselves. But who's going to shoot on it? Who's going to make sure that those budget line is being used according to what's in the budget? It is the legislature role to do that. But if all of them is aligning with the executive branch, how are they going to do that? How are they going to do that? How are they going to do that? And of recent, you see that for some of you that have been following Liberian politics, you saw that the Chief Justice retired. The Chief Justice retired. And President Joseph Walker had to appoint a new Chief Justice, which is in line with our Constitution. So that means, it is political too. You got to look at it. I appoint you as Chief Justice for the Liberia Supreme Court. You think when I sent it to that Supreme Court, because at the end of the day, when there's an argument between the legislature and the executive branch, or any other thing that has to do with legal thing, the Supreme Court is their job to interpret the law and tell the Liberian people what the law says and make a determination into any case. And remember, the head of the judiciary is the Chief Justice, and the Chief Justice was just appointed by the president. So there's my point of my discussion today. That's why I decided to bring it out. It's troubling to me. The president controls the executive branch, and now we see the Speaker of the House of Representatives is saying that he's a regime speaker, a Unity Party regime speaker. So that means he aligned with Unity Party already with the president. Then the deputy speaker have come out again to publicly say that if I even going to support the bid of Unity Party to win the next election. It's a red flag again. I mean, the speaker is for the president, the deputy speaker is for the president, and we all know Yomli Kanga Lawrence, which is the Senate, the pro tempore of the Liberian Senate, is already lining with the executive branch. Then on top of it all, the head of the judiciary branch, which is the branch that has to do with interpretation of the law. If I sue somebody, say, oh, I win the election, the other man said, no, you win the election. We got to go to the Supreme Court for Supreme Court to interpret who win the election. At the end of the day, it will go to small court, but it will get to the Supreme Court. When you get to the Supreme Court will decide who win the election. And then you see that the president just appointed the head of the Supreme Court, of the judiciary branch. So you can see where I'm going. That means the executive branch control the legislature and they control the judiciary. So where are we heading? Look at that. Where are we heading to? The president, the executive branch in charge because the regime speaker, he say regime speaker. The deputy speaker, Tomo Fala, say he's supporting the president. Yomli Kanga support the president. Then now the head of the Supreme Court is also appointed by the president. Definitely, he will work in the interest of the president. And a lot of you don't understand how the Supreme Court works. You should understand that few things I would like to mention here. And for some of you that are legal luminaries, if I'm making a mistake, please say, go one or two comment on there. Even though there are cases that are being adjudicated or cases that is being discussed in the Supreme Court, they follow the law. They follow a lot of case law. They follow a lot of other stuff, precedent, other stuff they follow. But the determination of that, so there are some cases that have jury. There are some cases that these judges, the associate justices of the Supreme Court, they serve as the jury. So they will be the one to determine the outcome of the case. So if you have 7 or 9, as the case may be, if 5 say yes, it's a yes. If 5 say John Brown win the election, 4 say John Brown win the election, it made John Brown win the election. All the remaining 4 can do, they can write something called dissenting opinion. They can write, say, in my opinion, but it does not hold the 5 people it already crossed, or the 6 people already crossed. That thing have become a law, it will stand. So that is the advantage the president has when you appoint more people on the Supreme Court bench. That is the advantage. And then most especially in a lot of people generation, in a lot of presidents administration, some presidents don't even have the privilege to even appoint one person to the Supreme Court. Sometimes they can serve for even up to 12 years. They never had the privilege to appoint one associate justice to the Supreme Court. Yes, I have seen that before. So if you have, our president was so lucky, President Joseph Boakai was lucky, he had to appoint the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, who happened to be the head of the judiciary branch. So he's very lucky to do that. He appointed the head. And remember, the head has a very key role to play. Like our legislature, you see that. Our Richard Kuhn say he's a regime speaker. That means he's for Unity Party already. Tomo Fala of recent, he came on the radio and said that he organizing people that will even support President Joseph Boakai or Unity Party next re-election bid. So that means he already for Unity Party. Then Yomli Kanga on the other side will ally to Unity Party that form their coalition, and then they ran. So definitely for Unity Party. So the legislature for Unity Party, now the judiciary held. Yeah, I'm sorry for the glitch again. So you see where I'm heading to. You see where I'm heading to. And I will tell you, it is not, to me, in my opinion, even though the law gave the president the power to appoint the people, he can appoint people on the Supreme Court bench, yeah. But I think our legislatures, our representatives, our senators, supposed to be working in our interests, not in the interest of the executive branch. And they're supposed to work with the Liberian people interest, in the interest of their constituency. Remember, as a lawmaker, you hold loyalty to 3 things. You hold loyalty to 3 things. You hold loyalty to your constituency. because they voted for you. You have to be loyal to them. You hold loyalty to your political party. If you're independent candidate, you hold loyalty to your independence. And then you hold loyalty to your conscience, to your own conscience. So those are the three things you hold loyalty to. So which one come to bear? Some people on their conscience have been swept under the rug. They got no conscience. So they don't even count that one they don't even count it among that. So, and so, but they don't even have loyalty to their constituency because majority of people that voted for them, not even from their constituency. More than 80% of the people that voted for them were trucked into the district. They're not even from the constituency. And they still have that tendency in mind that while you say you're in Lekko, after my 6 years, the next one again, I will truck more people who come in and vote for me. So they don't have any loyalty to your constituency. They only have loyalty to themselves and their political party, which is detrimental for our democracy. It's detrimental. So I always tell our Liberian people, you all look around when it comes to election. Look at people that don't have the money but have that God-given wisdom to lead. People that are willing, that even in their widow might, they are doing small stuff for the community, not because they want to be represented. Some people are doing stuff for the community that have never in their years mentioned that they want to be anybody in the community. Those are people that you guys should look at, organize yourself and go and petition, unknown to him or her. Petition that person. Can you represent us? That's what we see in America here. That's what we see in Europe. People on their farm doing their normal work. People will gather themselves, go to them and ask them, can you represent us? Can you be our senator? You get me? So those are people that you can know they are going to be, they will work in your interests. They will work in your interests. Not people that are passing around buka whole day, passing around acting that they are bad, this one. At the end of the day, you go, you elect them. And it is so sad. Most of the election, like I said, those guys that are being elected as representatives and senators, they're not even elected. Okay, for the senator, we understand, but especially for the representative, they are not even elected by people from their constituency. That is the sad part. How can you represent the people that did not even vote for you? You brought in people from different places that got no link, no bearing on your constituency. They are the ones that voted you to be representative. That's the reason why you have no interest in the district. That's the reason why you don't even go to the district. You don't even have meetings. You don't care. You talk to the people anyhow. You rule to them because you feel that when election comes, you will go in and truck people again and bring them in. So on that topic, as I'm saying, my people, it is troubling to me. For some of you, I know it is troubling to you. Some of you that watch this, give your comment on the topic, give your opinion on it. To see the three branches of government being controlled by the executive, it is troubling. The three branches of government, like I said, the speaker, he says a regime speaker. So that remember, you go all you can down if for unity party. Deputy speaker, just declared a few days. He is said to have joined them. Senator Yombi Kanga, the pro-temporary, she part of them again. She have joined them. And then the president appointed the head of the Supreme Court again, which is the Chief Justice, who is the head of the judiciary branch. So that means the president has some form of authority over the three branches of government. He has authority over the three branches of government. I look at it to be troubling to me. Our lawmakers should steer their course of independence. You can support a party. You can be for this one, but your independence when it comes to legislation, when it comes to policy, when it comes to decision for the country, should stand in the interest of your people. It should be in the interest of your constituency and the interest of your conscience. Of your conscience. So that is some of the things I want to talk about for that branch. For those the look up that our politics issue. And then let me talk about a little bit looking at crisis, little bit of crisis, international crisis. Look around you. Some of you that got your Facebook phones, I recommend go to YouTube Watch, they get CNN live, they get Al Jazeera live, they get Radio Deutsche Welle live, all those international radio, Radio France, all of them, they're there to get a live English version. You have to watch the news, know what is happening around the world. Even if it is 5 minutes a day or something, just Liberia, so just want to follow it. There's a tension, there's a lot of tension building around the world. Conflict is imminent. We're seeing tension in the South China Sea. There is tension building between Russia and America and between China and Taiwan. The whole South China Sea, there's a lot of tension going on in that place. There's a lot of deployment of military hardware. Aircraft carriers being deployed in the South China Sea. You got all those submarines, those nuclear submarines, those high ballistic submarines are being deployed in the South China Sea. Tensions are building. Tensions are building around the world. We can see that. We pray that it will not happen, but global conflict is ringing bell, it's smelling. It's smelling. So I'm asking our people, our religious leader, our people to pray for our leaders. Let the heart remain calm so the world can remain in peace. Conflict is building. You see, of recent, for you that watch the news, I told you guys in one of my podcasts, if you go back to listen to it, the United States Secretary of War, it was Secretary of Defense, now they call it Secretary of War, Pete Hedges. He was very, very clear. He said there is something called peace. Power through peace. He used power to enforce peace. Power. Peace through power. That's exactly what he used. Peace through power. You can see the United States today left their country and moved to another country. People move to another country and seize their president and took him away. Maduro was taken away. You can see that conflict is building. Conflict is building. For you, for a nation, and the guy was not, I'm not talking about former president. I'm not talking about president emeritus. I'm not talking about vice president. I'm not talking about member of parliament. I'm saying a certain president of Venezuela. The Venezuelan president. In terms of population, go and check how many people live in Venezuela. Go and check the military strength, the military might of Venezuela. Go look at how many military equipment they got, how many personnel, active duty personnel they have. Go and check it up. Go and look there. Check it up and see Venezuela. Check it up. Of all their military might, all their military strength, the United States flew in their country and pick up their president that you're picking up golden plum for honor a tree. It's called peace through strength. Why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? Why am I talking about other countries? Why am I talking about how powerful it is? If you are not great, if you are not strong militarily, you can never do that. If your military is not up to par, up to strength that can withstand foreign aggression, you can never, in your wider imagination, you can never do that. But United States military is strong. United States military is great. They single-handedly plan an operation, move into another country, got in another country airspace, landed and extracted the president and his wife, not even the president one, and his wife. So you should know, conflict is breeding around the world. Conflict is breeding. Why am I saying this? I say this because America is great, not because of today. They started being great from the past leaders, from past administration. Back how many years ago? Many years ago. They started building themselves up to reach to this stage that they are today. America's greatness did not just come from the blue sky. It was not about sudden flight. It was by perseverance. It was by loyalty. It was by patriotism. Those are things that make America great. America's military is the greatest, one of the greatest on earth today in our dispensation. And those things started from the past. They started building out their system, their military, training them, technology, science, and technology. They built them from years back. They started doing it. And I'm saying this because Liberia is the only denominator we have. Liberia is our only denominator. Liberia as a nation, do we have the ability to protect ourselves even when our neighbor Severin decide to aggress on us? Do we have that ability? If our neighbor Guinea right near us decide to have an aggression on us, do we have that capability to stand against Guinea, to stand against Sierra Leone? Before you talk about Ivory Coast, do we have that sophistication? Do we have the military strength? Do we have the military might, the military sophistication to defend our sovereignty and our territorial integrity? Do we have those things? Everywhere, from the day the United States extracted Maduro from Venezuela, the entire countries, all countries in South America have had emergency national security meeting. You know why they did that? To realign their defense strategy, to refocus on their military. Today, Brazil have passed legislation to increase their strength, to increase funding for their military, to equip their military, and to make sure that military is getting on par with international militaries. Liberia today, Chile is the same. All the whole South American countries have had their own national security meeting, and they are doing things that will upgrade their military to par. They are sending money from other places, other unnecessary money into the military to equip the military, because your sovereignty, your existence as a nation will solely last on your military when you are being aggressed upon. If Venezuela was a great country, like Russia or China, you think America will go extract a president from there? The answer is no. America make use of their weakness, and one of their weakness has been corruption, the same way Liberia has been corruption. When the system is corrupt, institution does not grow. When the system is corrupt, institution cannot move forward. The military will be stagnated. Our country will not be defended in any way. Look at Venezuela. They have the strength of how many thousand people? Soldiers, active duty soldiers. But their president was extracted like you're going to find plum from under the tree and taken away. That's how their military, their president was extracted. I'm saying this not for the international own. I'm saying it for our own in West Africa. Liberia is our military up to par to even deter our neighbor Sierra Leone when they want to have aggression upon us. Guinea, our military up to par to deter them. You guys saw of recent Guinea sent soldiers in Liberia to go and take out somebody. You guys saw on the news, the government kept mute about it. They didn't want to say, but it was an international disgrace for a country to come into your country and extract somebody from there without your permission. That means you are a weakling. You are the weakest link. And I will say this today, not because I serve the military or because I want to go back into it or because I have interest in serving the Ministry of National Defense. I will tell you guys today, Liberians that are under my voice, Liberians that are listening, Liberians that will watch this. The word is getting dangerous. The word is tuning toward conflict. Conflict is imminent. You can see it. I mentioned in the South China Sea, look, the conflict is building up. Iran, Israel, conflict is building up. Palestine, Israel, conflict is building up. There's so much conflict that is building up. South Korea, North Korea, you can see that conflict. China, Taiwan, conflict. America, Venezuela, conflict. America, Russia, conflict. It's building. It's building. We're not going to participate into their wars, but that conflict has the ability of extending to Africa. And you guys know that. Are we prepared? Is Liberia prepared to defend her sovereignty and her territorial integrity with our military we have today? Is our military capable of protecting we Liberians? Liberians that are there today in Liberia, the military we have, is it equipped? Is it trained enough? Do they have the equipment to protect lives and property in Liberia? If a big country like Venezuela, the president can be picked up like Papa. Go and pick the president or sitting president. I'm not saying representative or senator or the one. They pick up a sitting president and his wife, extracted them and bring them. That's why a weak system can bring about. When your security is weak, when your military is weak, that's what happens. Loopholes everywhere. Loophole can be everywhere. Venezuela has huge military, they got a lot of stuff, but they can't match this. But our peer, Sierra Leone, they're not even supposed to be our peer, but put on partner up because we keep drifting. Guinea, Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast, they are far bigger than us in terms of military might, in terms of military sophistication, in terms of military training, education and training, in terms of equipment, in terms of intelligence, in everything, technology, they are far above us in the entire sub-region. Liberia is one of the least in the sub-region when it comes to security, when it comes to military. And all because our politicians prefer putting the money in their pockets and don't want to take our military. When push comes to shove, those are the same politicians that will be running across the border in no time. That will cross the border in no time. I am saying this. It is that every country now, they are investing. Any country that invests less in their defense system, in their defense, if your defense budget, defense include army, navy, put anything about military, anything about security, it's called defense. If your defense budget all put together is not significant amount of your national budget, that means you're going nowhere. That means you're going nowhere. In America, the defense budget is the highest. In Europe, Israel, anywhere around now you go, defense budget is the highest. Because security is what keeps you as a nation. If you don't have security, you are going nowhere. You will lose everything. Fellow Liberians, I'm using this as an opportunity. I want this video to be played in the future. Let people reference these videos in the future to say that, yes, Sibo said this, but our politicians did not listen. Our military needs to be equipped. I'm not saying it because, like I said, I want something from there. I'm saying it because to keep your territorial integrity and your sovereignty, you must equip your military. When anything happens, boom, in Liberia, civilians will not be there. It's the soldiers, it's the officers, the soldiers and the men. Security apart, they will be the one going to the forefront. What are they going to use for AK-47? AK-47? Is that what they're going to use? Because that is the best we have. Those are the best we have. And I will tell you today, invest in your military technology. The government must invest in the military technology. Our military is zero when it comes to technology. Our military, even communication, cannot sit in national defense headquarters and call Granger there. They don't have that capability. They don't have that capability. They don't have it. Our military is depending on Celcom and Lone Star network to make communication. Military communication should be independent of any private communication. The military should have their independent source of communication so that when Lone Star shut down, Celcom shut down, the military can still function. But today, we see the government show less interest in it. Our Coast Guard, like I've been talking before, they don't even have vessels. They don't even have vessels to patrol, to go on the waters and see illegal fishing that's taking place, illegal transshipment. People do drugs transshipment on our water. The Coast Guard don't even have the ability, don't have the capability to even move around because they are using a boat that the Americans use for small river. That's the one they gave us to use on the ocean. And they did well. They had no business doing it. If a representative making $8,000, $9,000, $13,000, $15,000, why can't you use that money and buy? Why can't you take some of those allowances out, cut some of those things and buy and equip your military? Our military technology is zero. Goal is zero. I'm telling you today, Mr. President or policies maker, go to your Ministry of National Defense, go to your war room. No other country get war room. Go see if you even have a war room where you get situational room where you'll be able to see things that is going on in the country, like the way other military does. The internet, they're breaking me. I'm not saying it as a means of sabotage. I'm not saying it to breach international or to breach a national security. I'm saying this in the interest of the nation. I want policies maker. I want our people to go and see if the military we have, if the equipment we have is sufficient to defend us in terms of conflict. You need to invest into our military. You need to invest in the security sector. You sign a concession agreement for oil exploration. The Coast Guard has no ability to reach to that place. Coast Guard cannot access where the oil will be drilled. They don't have the capability. They got zero means of going there. Zero means of going there. The military needs upgrade. Our military needs upgrade. Our military needs sophistication. Our military needs equipment to do their job. Our military needs sufficient training. Our military needs to carry on drills and exercises. And this can only happen when they are provided or they are accorded the rightful resources, the rightful amount of money in the budget to do what they need to do. Because when push comes to shove, all I think you're running around, you're building a road, all I want will be vla. You will need somebody to defend you. Even from domestic terrorism, domestic attack, internal conflict, you will still need the military to do it. If they are not equipped, they're not equipped. I hear somebody say one thing before. Somebody might have told me in confidence that the reason why Liberia is not paying attention to their military or they don't want to pay attention to the military because they feel if the military is equipped, the military will take over government. I look at that person and laugh. I said, do you know what a military is? United States have the best military in the world, the most equipped military. Have they ever dreamed of taking over government? Have they ever dreamed of taking over government? The answer is no, because the government is meeting their needs. Military think about civil affairs when their needs are not met. When they see lawmakers making $10,000, $15,000 and their children cannot even go to school. When they see lawmakers driving $45,000 car and then a major is riding motorboy, driving motorboy and sitting in keke, a major is riding motorboy and sitting in keke. That is what makes them to think about politics. That's what makes them to think about government. So if you don't want them to dream in that direction, you need to focus on their welfare and the welfare of their family. When you meet their welfare, you meet their needs, they will never dream about government. United States, no matter how much sophistication the military have, they will never dream of taking over government because their needs are met. Their welfare is being taken care of. everything is being addressed. Even though the politicians do what they're supposed to do, they make sure that the military does not dream or look in that direction. But what are we doing in Liberia? We rub mud on the faces of our military people that protect us. Our senator is a representative riding $65,000 car, but you have a major or lieutenant colonel sitting out on a motorbike to go to work. They don't even have a car. They don't even have cars. Those cars are old. They are breaking down. How many times they are even replace those cars that they are using? But the representatives have cars every 4 years. They buy a new car for them. But the military vehicles, the trucks are all breaking down. They cannot even move. But representatives and senators are getting brand new cars every 4 years. Why would the military not dream about taking over government? So if that's your fear, and then one thing I will tell you, for the military to take over government, if they want to take over government, they don't need big guns. They can even use net in their hand. They can go and get the president they want to get in. They can use AK-47 pistol and go and remove the pistol. So is that why you're thinking that if you equip the military to take over government, you're wasting your time? Because they don't need all the equipment to take over government. If they want to take over government, they don't need that. A single pistol, AK-47 can take over government if they think the military want to do that. So if you are naively thinking that if you take care of the military, they will be equipped and then they will dream about taking over government, you're wasting your time. That's a lazy, that's a stupid argument. The person that even might have told you that, look at where country they're coming from. Look at their own military. Is the military not equipped? But are they dreaming of taking over government? The answer is no. Because the government meet the welfare and the well-being of their security forces. So if you sit down, you see America is going to extract people president there and their wealth away. You'll be saying that Sierra Leone can't grab your president and wealth and carry the Sierra Leone right near you and you can't do nothing about it. You will not do nothing about it. Guinea will walk in your plane and come and seize your president and wealth and you will not do nothing about it because you don't have the sophistication to even deter your neighbors. To even make sure that your neighbor don't know that what you have, nothing, you don't have it.
Yes.
So how would they be? How would they respect you? How would they be afraid of you? You see people do something called show of force. You see when they're having on the Armed Forces Day, the United States, on the United States Armed Forces Day, on their Veteran Day, you saw the display of new technology or weapon. You saw the display. That's what you call show of force. You see in North Korea when they're doing it, they show force. You see in Russia, they show force. France, Japan, Korea, they show force. What coast that can show? One old boat. What our AFL can show? One old boat. They'll be passing around with one old weapon. They say that mortar, jungle mortar. Something that's outdated, that old weapon they carry around. Where you can even shoot from radar to the second junction. Why can't you even reach there? That they want to pull on one truck, hold it, they be driving, they say they get weapon. You get nothing. You get nothing. Our country needs to be protected. Our people need to be defended. And the resources of the country should be used to defend the people when there is an external aggression or internal aggression. You all need to pay attention to our military. We're not doing it because of your greed or your egotistic behavior. We are doing this because our sovereignty, our territorial integrity must be kept intact. And to keep that, we need the military being equipped. If country like if those countries were not corrupt, if those countries have not been playing around their military and thinking that they behave like they get military, you think America is going to walk in another country and take the president out? You think America can walk to Russia and go take Vladimir Putin out? You think America can walk to China and take the Chinese president out? Or can walk to France and take the French? No, because those people don't joke with their security. They don't joke with military. Military is number one in the national defense budget. In the national budget, defense is number one. But go to Liberia, go see what number one. Number one is lawmaker in our budget. Legislature get higher money. $50 million go to them. $50 million doesn't even go to your military. Your entire military doesn't have $50 million, but your legislature got $50 million. And I want you to understand military equipment are expensive. So that $50 million is just one equipment. That's just one equipment you might buy with $50 million. There are some bombs. There are some equipment. We're not up to that level yet. But I just want you to know that there are some rockets, some missiles they do. Some of them cost more than $100 million for one of it. That's the amount of money people spend on their military, on their security and their defense. But in Liberia, no. Go look in the barracks. Go to the barracks. All those cars are broken down. They are old cars. And I know our military people will not be able to say it because it's yes, sir, yes, sir. When I was there, I couldn't say it because it's yes, sir, yes, sir. But they know deep down in their heart that they are not capable of defending our country. Because now that they don't have the training, now that they don't have the education, now that they don't have the experience, but they don't have the equipment. So you won't wait when something happens. Then you sign emergency and you have 100 million, you have 100 million available and give it to them. So when you take that 100 million and give it to them, when you buy the equipment, people are supposed to be trained on the equipment. People are supposed to be trained on it. Go to America, go to other countries, they do drills every day with their equipment. Because you're supposed to know your weapon like yourself. That's how you can be effective in using it. You all pay attention to our defense. Pay attention to our national security. Train our people, provide them the required logistics they need so they can be able to execute their jobs. Please, I am begging you. I'm asking you. So, fellow Liberians, I will stop here. I've taken much of your time. I didn't plan to go long like this. But sometimes when we're talking, we have to spill it out. We have to say it as it is. Like I said, I will pass the disclaimer up. I am not talking about the military to sabotage national security. No. I am not talking about this military to make the world know that we are weak. No. I'm talking this to Liberians so that our policy maker can do better things to strengthen our military, to strengthen our defense, because we will need it in coming time. Troubling times are around. We will need it. So that is it. Tomorrow, please, around the same time, join us. We will have Mr. Emmanuel Mr. Dulaket, a seasoned maritime professional and a seafarer. So the maritime sector in the two phases. There are some maritime professionals that are not seafarers. There are people that are seafarers, but they are not 100% maritime professional. But that guy has the pedigree of both. Emmanuel Meza Dolake. He has both. He's a seasoned maritime professional, and he is a seafarer. So you have had both experiences. So tomorrow we'll be discussing on the issue tomorrow. Here and I will be on the show. And I'll be asking him some questions. You'll be providing some information. You'll be teaching us tomorrow on how it takes or how it like to be a seafarer and how things can work to improve the system in Liberia. And, it is not going to be political. When I want to say now my show, I can speak ill to government. We understand people get their jobs to protect. People get their family to feed. And our government in Liberia, they are so petty. Our official government, they are so petty. They are so disdain to the extent that they will decide to fire you because you speak ill to society. They will decide to go after you. They will wish hunt you. They get you out of the system simply because you're saying the truth. That's the reason why we are finding it difficult to have a lot of professionals coming on the show to discuss issues. And that is the truth. A lot of professionals are finding it difficult to come on the show to discuss issue of national concern, even though it is very, very crucial things they're supposed to talk about, like the Inland Port and Decentralization Act that is on the president there for signing. That is something that we need to talk about. That is something that the president need to hear, to know what are the disadvantages in that, to know what, even though people were explaining to him, but those people, are they professional? Are they maritime professional? Those people, are they maritime professional? Do they able to decipher the issue as it's supposed to be discussed? And I will recommend to the president, maritime contribute very, very hugely to our budget. Mr. President, I will recommend to you, or the chief of officer to the president, the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, I will recommend to you guys. It is very, very expedient. It is very, very important that the president has a maritime advisor. The office of the president needs a maritime advisor, because maritime contribute more than 30-35% of our budget. So that is a very huge component in our budget, and that's how our government survive. That's how projects have been run, and it comes from the maritime sector. So I think the president needs to have a professional maritime a consultant in office, as an advisor to him. We understand. You might think that the maritime commissioner, yes, he played a role as a maritime commissioner. The Liberian permanent representative to the IMO, yeah, they play a role, but they are not. The president needs a maritime advisor, somebody that will be a full-time advisor to the president on maritime-related issues, such as this kind of regulation that are seizing. Because right now you can see, just look at it. The maritime commissioner is not a maritime professional. It's a political appointment, so he was sent there. The president has the right to appoint him somewhere, but he's not a maritime professional. He's not a seasoned maritime professional. I mean, seasoned maritime professional that is grounded in maritime, that went to maritime school, get a master's degree or something in maritime, or that have become a seafarer, that have those pedigree. He does not have it. I'm not saying that he don't know how he might do. He might handle the administrative aspect, but the maritime aspect, he does not know it. Even though he got principal assistant around him, but he's not a maritime professional. So when it comes to real maritime related issue, he cannot advise the president because he's not a seasoned maritime professional. Even the Liberian permanent representative to the IMO, the International Maritime, he's not a maritime professional either. He's not a maritime professional. I'm not saying it because I want to undermine. I'm not saying it because I'm trying to put somebody under the bus, but that is the truth. So because those appointments are political appointments, the president can put them there for administrative overview and oversight. So, but the president needs to have a maritime professional, somebody that is grounded in maritime, as an advisor in his office, because maritime contribute more than 35 to 40% of our budget. So please, Mr. President, even not 35, it contributes significantly to our budget. So, Mr. President, and to all well-meaning advisors to the president have been listening to me, and some people will peep in and listen, some people either not listening, it's fine. But if you get a piece, please let the president recommend to the president that he needs a maritime advisor, because maritime play a key role in our economic affairs, in our budgeting system. So on this note, I want to say thank you. I took like 1 hour, 27 minutes of your time. I want to say thank you for those of you that have been following judiciously, for those of you that will follow the clip later on, that will give your comment. You can give your comment. We'll go back on the clip and address some of those comments. So please, tomorrow same time, go on my page. You will see the flyer. Can you get share it with your friends? Share it on your page. Share it with people. Put it on your day, so that other people can know that tomorrow we'll be discussing some key issues like the Liberian maritime. A lot of people don't even know the topic, so it can be so. A lot of people don't know what maritime is, so it don't even sound interesting to them. But they don't even know that maritime is the one that even provide most of the money that we use for our budget. They don't even know. So we need to enlighten people on this, and that's why we'll be having this kind of discussion often. So on this note, I will say thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a real good supporter of our program. Your comments have been necessary. Your comments, your suggestions, your calls, your applause have all been good for us. We appreciate it. We say thank you. Thank you. Until tomorrow, we'll meet again. Stay safe, be blessed. Keep the word in prayer. Pray for the world. Conflict is around. Serious conflict is around. War is imminent. People are building their military. Military right now in America, all the military on high lot, they are training like crazy. But all the military, I know they are not, because they don't even have the equipment in they need to train. They don't even have, when you tell them to go to the range to go shoot now, even bullet, they don't have it because the government will not even provide the fund to buy the bullets. They depend on the American embassy to give rounds for our soldiers to go practice how to shoot. What kind of irresponsibility is that? So my people, please, it is so irritating to me. It's so irritating. So sometimes I just call it a day. And I appreciate until we meet again tomorrow. I'll say ciao. God bless you.